hello. I guess I'm saying hello to start with to my sort of our Facebook community. Um, as you can see, I'm playing. I have learned some new things. For a long time, some people have asked me, why don't you do a podcast or why don't you do some video blogging or something like that? And I've thought about it, but it seemed like a lot of work, and it seemed the idea. One of the things is like podcasts, just the audio being audio only, kind of didn't excite me, even though maybe it should. And video blogging with just like my own face filling the frame also sort of seemed kind of scary and silly and didn't really seem to me like anyone would be interested in that. I did some research and I saw these people who had these kind of video blogs or YouTube channels where they have like what you see here, a little small box with their voice and face, and then other things that you can do in there. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, but I didn't know how to do it. So yesterday I had a conversation with my good friend Mark Linthicum, and with a little help from Mark, I have, voila, learned how to do this, sort of. I'm going to show you what I've got because it's kind of like, okay, now I can see maybe there's something here, and I want to try it out. I want to see if you guys, my friends on Facebook, feel like it's worthwhile, or if you think it's ridiculous, then you'll tell me. I'm sure you always do. Um, so, well, I want to have, generally speaking, I wanted to have a theme, and I'll tell you what the theme is. Here it is. The theme is this: facts matter. And just because I try, or I have always tried, to be rational. I know many of you have been around with me for since sort of the beginning of the Facebook thing. You know that I was kind of I really focused hard on being kind of rational and even-handed, even though I have a political persuasion, which is the same color that you see in the background here. But over time, as the Trump administration has gone along, I've become, I would say, more partisan. But I try to believe that I still believe that facts matter. And I feel like we have, as a country, maybe not just our country, other countries too, but certainly in the United States, we have become so tribal and so bought in and dug into our political positions and our political narratives that for many people, facts no longer seem to really matter. And I want to try and offer, when there's an issue out in front of us, where drilling down and getting at the real facts can be helpful. I want to try and do that. And I also do that whether it fits my political narrative or not. And that's something you can hold me accountable on. I have a political leaning, but I also believe in facts. If my guy does something bad, then he should go to jail. And if my guy betrays the country, then I'm going to step up and say it. Now, this is hard. Some of you are going to come back and say, oh, you hate Trump so much, and blah, 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 blah. I understand that. Let's just see what happens, because this is sort of like an extension of what we already do on Facebook. Um, Now, I've also, I have the ability now with this setup to be able to put images over here. I can put bullet points over here. I can also, if you see this, go to our Facebook page, and then actually, tab right to articles. Like, for example, this was an article from yesterday. And we have, on most days, I mean, not most days, but there are days when we have over 1,000 comments on the Facebook page. I put this up yesterday, one of like 4 or 5, I think, that I put up. You see, it's got 116 comments. So there's a lot of stuff that people are, react to it. And I might be interesting here to go to some of these articles, look at them, and not only talk about the article itself, but interact on some of the comments that we have. So that's one idea of something that I might be doing here. I can also, I've set it up so that I can easily tab to articles. Like here's fact checking Joe Biden, Hunter Biden into Ukraine. This is something that I kind of want to get to pretty soon in the next few days, because this is a topic at the moment. And as some of you guys remember, I was just in Ukraine in May, and I have some pretty good connections there, and hopefully have some insights. So I'll be looking at that. Some of you may or may not know I have a blog. I haven't really been using it so much lately because I've been doing more on Facebook. But there's a lot of stuff. I had this blog for about 10 years, and there's one of the last big articles I did was a breakdown of what the Mueller report actually says. But I also do things on the Philippines because I have a lot of interest in that. This is about one of my most interesting characters, American in the Philippines in 1901. This is another Philippine story about a female gorilla, Nieves Fernandez, and so on. So anyway, there's lots and lots of this. Just goes on and on forever over there. So I can, if I want to go, some of that stuff is evergreen, and I might want to go back to it, or I'll be putting these posts up there as well. I have the John Carter files, which I think is more specialized about Edgar Rice Burroughs and John Carter. But there's that. My Year of the Spy. This is my book that's coming soon. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more. We can also show YouTube videos here. Here, by the way, this is me being arrested in Moscow in 1986, a Soviet-era documentary showing the arrest. I'm in the van there, and then it goes ahead and shows my interrogation. Here I am walking in to the interrogation room. Notice how I'm trying to not let them kind of lead me in. I'm trying to walk in as if I'm in control of my own destiny. Young fellow there. Yep, that's me. The one interviewing me is a very, very famous Soviet spy master, Rem Krasilnikov. Interviewing or interrogating, who knows? But anyway, someday we can come back and look at that. You see they have, that was me at the moment of the arrest in my little disguise, which we can talk about. And this is stuff that's been cleared by CIA for me to talk about, so that's okay. So anyway, there are things to do here. Now, I don't know if the biggest fear that obviously I would have, I'm just like, this feels like if I throw this party, is anybody going to come? And I don't really know. But I guess one way I can keep it so that it'll just be part of the Facebook thing is that I can post this once I make a video here. By the way, and one of the things that I want to do is I make little video reports, which we can play here as well. So, I mean, I do an introduction here and then do sort of a report on the topic of the moment and then come back and talk some more about it. So it kind of integrates not just the talking head, but, some sort of small documentaries and things like that I think I can do. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess from my point of view, maybe this is a continuation of my therapy. Maybe this is also, it falls into the category of learning new things. I feel like, trying to keep evolving is important in life. And this gives me something new to kind of do in my evenings when I'm alone. My wife, as many of you know, works a late shift. So I have my evenings to myself and I have time to do these things. So in any event, I'm going to sign off now, and I think I'm going to post this on Facebook and ask for feedback and hope that I don't get hooted out of I hope I don't get all howls of derision. And let's see what happens. I'd be curious for your feedback. I'd also be curious about ideas that you may have about how, what direction we might take this. And by the way, maybe I can interview some of you guys. Like, I'd love to get on here with some of my favorite posse friends. Susan Ostrowski, would you like to come on board? Steve Marood, Mark Peterson, all you guys. The ones, I'm talking particularly about the ones who are on the other side of the political spectrum, but also some of the more, the ones that, are on my side as well. I think there might be a possibility to evolve this into something where we could be doing live interviews and might even be able to have it live cast on Facebook or somehow so that there could be, interaction. But that's downstream. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But in any event, this is my Saturday night. Offer a toast to all of you, and let me know if you think this is a reasonable idea. I hope you do, and I hope you'll support me in it, because I think it could be fun and could be something that we might be able to do some good in terms of promoting this idea that facts matter, because that, as an overarching theme, is what I will be trying to do, and I hope it works out. Thank you guys for listening to my little manifesto here. Good night.